Hey, thanks for tuning in. Um, here, I've noticed something since flying the Diamond DA-62. My experience with that aircraft is here. There's a lot more problems with it than just the rudder trim, which is this is titled. But as you can see in the forum, nobody has mentioned rudder trim since 2024. Um, SU updates and so on and so forth. Not even related to what this video is about. So when I experienced a problem with the DA-62, I decided to look at other aircraft, general aviation aircraft. I've looked at some of the commercial jets, one commercial jet, the Airbus 320 or 321, can't remember. It doesn't appear to have a rudder trim whatsoever. So um, it goes to show you that how Asobo has failed to properly, and what's the proper word for that, but to move stuff that worked in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 into Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It seems with 2024 they've started from scratch and they've made changes. And but overall, the biggest disappointment with Flight Simulator 2024 is the neglect of details that aircraft in 2020 are working and they don't work in 2024. Anyway, the following video segments look at specifically the rudder trim functionality of several aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. Okay, and we'll start out with the first aircraft and see if we actually have, this one has a rudder trim. I don't know if I can turn it now. Let's just get inside. I'm not familiar with this. The rudder trim, when I push this to the left, the rudder trim control to the left, it should actually go to the right. Pushing the rudder to the left. So this one's 180 degrees out, or backwards. I'm going to say backwards. So that should all the way to the right. Trim control. I don't have a rudder trim gauge here, just the elevator trim. So elevator trim, it goes down to the trim tabs. So the trim tabs are going down, which will cause the rudder or the elevator to go up. So that is correct. It should do the exact same thing for the rudder trim. All the way to the left should push the rudder to the left. This is visually reversed. Okay, now for the air tractor. Those should have a rudder trim. It does have a rudder trim tab. Okay, see if I can move it without being in the cockpit. No, it's not moving. I got to go into the cockpit. Fuel select. No, this is nose left, right. Okay, so all right. So that is, see, that's start. Turning that to the right. Oh, why am I sitting? Is that me or my co-pilot? That's my co-pilot. Why is my co-pilot sitting so low? She's not going to turn around. Here I am, and my co-pilot is down below. Does this have a, I doubt it. Does this have a passenger seat underneath there? Doesn't look like there's any way of getting in and out of there. All right. Rudder trim to the, you can see it is veering right. So it turns in the way that you push it. So I push it to the right and I'm trimming it to the left, which will, in the air, will cause the rudder to go to the right, more yaw to the right. So it was visually backwards again on this one. Co-pilot, poor girl. She shouldn't put up with that. Yeah, that's wrong too. Visually wrong. I'm not going to fly it. Just wrong. Okay, we're in the Textron, which is Asobo or Microsoft developed Baron 58, G58. So trim tab is neutral right now. And I just moved a little bit, so it is moving. So it starts to move with my control. But if I trim it all the way to the right, this is all the way to the right, the trim tab moves all the way to the right. So this is visually reversed. So all the way to the left should move the trim tab like you just saw it, but it moves it to the left. So if you do that, now functionally, it appears to work right. It's just visually wrong. So visually backward. So it is incorrect here. Okay, so we're in the vision jet. Now I'm trimming up, as you can see in the lower right corner, the trim is moving in that position. And the trim tabs are moving down, which is what it should be. So that will apply wind force, causing the elevators to go up, or the uh, rudder vader, and down will go down. If I set it back at neutral, I don't see the rudder. The rudder should compensate for both of them. I don't see the trim tabs moving. I'm going all the way to the right. I don't see them moving, so it might not be implemented, or I'm not sure about that. So it should do something. There is a trim tab for it. Um, Sadly, the Caravan does not have a visual trim tab for the rudder. I know it has a trim tab, and I believe it's this one right here. One of these two here is rudder trim tab. Uh, okay, that's the rudder trim tab here. So it visually has one. If I roll it all the way to the right, the rudder moves all the way to the right. So that's also wrong. You don't move the trim tab does not move the actual rudder. Center it again. And goes to the left. Okay, next. Okay, I'm up to the TBM now, and I'm inside. The TBM doesn't have a visual rudder control here. At least on the plane doesn't. I haven't found it. I don't know where it is. If it is, some of them put them in places you can't see it, but it is really electrical. You have nose up, down, and yaw on this here. It says yaw right. So if I push it to the right, it doesn't actually do it there from my controller. But yeah, you can do right, or yaw left is on the other side. Right? Nose down, nose up. Kind of works that way. So if I trim it to the right, the whole rudder moves and the trim tab goes in the same direction. It's visually wrong and it's functionally wrong. The trim tab control should only adjust the trim tab, not the whole rudder. So Asobo here seems to be cheating on how the trim should function, and it is incorrect. Trimming it to the left moves the tab to the left as well as moving the rudder to the left. The trim tab, again, is not connected to the rudder itself. So this is functionally incorrect and visually incorrect.